The problem I have with the Western world is anytime they believe in something or they have received some sort of insight on their media on their phones, they always have to bring it about, particularly within the black image. Whenever they see a black person, they always have to kind of bring that black person into their reality. And it can be quite disturbing, because a lot of black people you'll find are simply recovering from the system, or at least trying to work hard in the system, or trying to make it into the system. And the truth is, this almost never is the situation, because many groups of people, white-minded people, always feel the need to bring black people as young as infants into their broken reality, into their world, and into what's going on with them. And they feel a need to use the black people to vent out their pain and to vent out their violence and their suffering onto, or they feel the need to use the black person as a puppet, or as a toy, as commodity. Nothing different from what they have been doing. The concerning reality of this situation is how frequently they are just so violent. As much as they claim to be the friendly neighborhood globe, part of the globe, they're very violent people, and they don't want you to call them out on their violence because they're so concerned about maintaining a good image, notwithstanding that behind their closed doors lies behind them a history of many black people who for generations have had to undergo brutal abuse, to the point where freedom and basic human necessities to function have been hindered by these particular groups of people who refuse to acknowledge the black experience, or should I say refuse to actually even bring about any sense of law for the black people, or to hold them up to the law. These people don't quite understand that they are only making themselves look bad. You're not making the black people look bad, because the black people in Africa already know that the black man is capable of building infrastructure, that the black man has an economy in Africa, that the black man has educational institutions in Africa, which the Africans can even move into America and use their qualifications within the system. You are not tricking the black people in Europe, who have been endorsed by several multi-billion-dollar companies in campaigns, and Premier League, which is the most competitive sports league in the world, to endorse campaigns which relate to anti-black racism, to the point where every player, including the white players, take a stand to remove racism from their systems. You are not tricking the black people around the world. But for some reason, you are trying to squeeze or turn black people into objects, to vent out your malicious behavior behind closed doors, to where you walk outside in public with a smile on your face, trying to look so friendly, trying to look so law-abiding, so peaceful. But the moment you close that door and you try to, or you see a black man in public, and nobody is looking, you claim nobody is looking, you are convinced that it is your obligation to scrutinize or to dehumanize that black person to the role of objects, to the role of should I say, I can't even think of a word It is just how bad they bring black people to specific terms and circumstances and conditions, because for as long as that kind of behavior remains apparent, you will find that the black people are always subject to the objectification, where they are told what to do and they are told when to do and what image to live up to. They would never do that to any other group of people except for the black people, because they are sick, cowards, wicked people, incapable of living up to any moral justice, using religion, using smiles, using handshakes and friendly procedures to try and wipe away their evil history and intent, which has caused the livelihood of many black people to be taken away from them against their own will. And somehow these people have convinced you and convinced themselves and perhaps convinced their neighbors that they are nothing more than peaceful, law-abiding citizens when they call the police on that black person for calling them out for their racist behavior and their brutality, not knowing that the police are not doing any sense of justice beyond what the American system has taught them to do, which is to take out a black man upon sight.